Hey, I hope everybody's doing good. Welcome back to the channel. I hope everybody's doing all right. And happy Thanksgiving to you guys. And may you have a blessed Thanksgiving. If you're by yourself, give thanks to God and be thankful. If you're with your family, give somebody a hug. Enjoy the moment. Life is precious. Anyway, just thought I'd put that out there. Happy Thanksgiving. So I'm a little late to welcome to Derry. I'm gonna tell you just like I feel like I'm telling you right now is that I struggled with this last episode. So I'm going to have to rewatch it because I kept falling asleep. I kept falling asleep and I kept falling asleep. I don't know if I was tired or what. Apparently, I must have been tired or something. But episode 5 is called, 29 Neibolt Street. That's the It Lair and that old creepy house that's in the original movie. So it got the military finally going to go down there and try to tackle this thing, which is insane because the it plays with your fears. So these military guys go down there, but in the meantime, these kids decide to go down there, and one of the kids that got taken by the it came back, and he was real pale, and their little hiding place that they all meet up at that little light, that little tower that's up in the sky, they thought he was dead, but he looked weird to me the whole time I'm watching. I said, boy, he looks awful pale. But they did a good job of making you believe that because he had been down in that dark tunnel for a while. But I said, man, he looks weird. So they decided to go down there and tackle, to see if they could. They're trying to. One girl is looked upon as, she's got issues, and then she's got this one girl that hangs out with it's the white girl that and she's got the other girl that hangs out with the uppity chicks. And then the black girl's trying to get her uncle name cleared. So they want to go down there and they're trying to figure out how to find out how they can get the town to believe that there's something down there. So all this is going on. Man, I kept falling asleep. And I did work hard that day today. I work hard every day, by the way. But anyway, so I kept going like this. I woke up and said, what the? Now, I woke up again. And I said, is this episode not good or not? But I kept looking at it. It looked good to me. But so obviously you guys know the black guy that got involved with the white woman, but he couldn't tell nobody that he was involved with the white woman because, last time I checked, you guys, Maine is 99% white, which that's no biggie. There's a lot of places that predominantly white and predominantly mixed and predominantly that. That is not what I'm talking about here. But I'm looking at this in a realist fan. I'm like, okay, so you got involved with a woman. You're already in that kind of semi time frame where that was kind of you could, I guess, kind of get hurt. I guess because I didn't come up in that time. I don't think. I was born in '59, so I'm gonna have to tell him when it started lightening up. I guess that's such a icky subject. As long as you male and female, man, that's the way I look at it. But two males and two women, no, I don't play that. But anyway, so I'm sitting there going, all right, what are you guys gonna do with this character? Because the girl's trying to clear her uncle's name, so he's on the bus getting transported. The bus wrecks, kills mostly everybody, but he's the only one that got away. And so I know they're going to end up manhunting him, but then the guy that's in the army, his that's got the son that's with the little group of kids, his wife is trying to help that guy out because he did tell the truth that he was involved with a white woman that is married. And then Madeline Stowe's character is who he is involved with. And I said, Madeline Stowe's playing that? I was like, oh man, I like Madeline Stowe. She haven't been doing anything. I loved her in Revenge. Madeline Stowe was so good in Revenge. She also was good in there was a couple movies I like Madeline Stowe in. She was good in a movie where she was a blind woman and she ended up getting her sight, but that was good. Madeline Stowe was on fire. But just like Hollywood, they seem to, I don't know, man. I don't see how older women can't get roles in movies. They just older. Makes no sense. Every doesn't that have to be super sexy appeal or something like that. Make a good story. This is the problem with Hollywood. But anyway, I didn't got sidekicked. So that was Madeline Stowe's character. I was like, huh, that's Madeline Stowe playing that character that he got involved with. So I was like, damn. So, you got that part, and then that's who he was having sex with, and he don't want to get caught, because if he does tell you got, because that guy either works for the police department or he's in the military, so he would be in some hot water. I seriously think he would get badly beaten, just badly beaten. I'm talking like badly beaten. He's in the wrong spot, but whew, that would be eerie. But so then the kids are wanting to go down there. So that kid that came back, which I found was odd, they were like, because he apparently supposed to be dead. But so all this is being in this story. So then the guy that's the black guy that's in, the one that's in the military, and the other black guy that does all this mind screwing thing, they all decide to go down there in that house and go down that well and tackle on this it thing. And then it found what's the name of the guy, Skarsgård or something like that, Pennywise. He finally made his appearance. He did good, because we all been wanting to see his appearance. He looked just like the It in the regular It movie. He never lost his pace. He just looked the same. The actor that plays Pennywise, he did a good job. And I was like, oh, there he is. So they did real good with that. I'm not quite sure how I feel about this. So that's why I'm telling it the way this is. So then when they get down there, they start seeing all these different visions. Well, one guy that has this backstory of I think it was his grandma or his aunt that got had the same thing he had, but then he had an uncle that he was going back to where she was abusing him, and he had this little box. I think it was his uncle stuff. So he was having all this when he was down there in that well. So these soldiers are having all this down in this well. So when you get to the climax, if they all go inside that house, the military, they're all of a sudden things start going wrong. They start seeing these different things. The one black guy could do all do all this night that mind thing. When they was going through the sewers, he stepped straight down and went straight down. The other two guys was behind him. So where'd he go? I don't know where he went, man. I don't know where. Then they seen this entity that was coming out, and they was looking, and it was Uncle Sam pointing at him, and it was a weird Uncle Sam. The old Uncle Sam wants you. It was Uncle Sam wants you. That's how it was back in the war days. Because back in the war days, when there was a war breaking out, you was SOL, man. You had joined the military. You was gonna be in some serious trouble. I'm talking about back in the olden days, the United States back in. Whenever some wars, man, you had to go, and it sucked. I really sometimes feel bad about America sometimes, because I think people now take too much for granted, and all the lives and blood that have been spilt overseas and battlegrounds and stuff, but we just seem like we just don't give a damn. I know a lot of people care, but this seems like a lot of people don't care, man. And I think about the soldiers that went before us and stuff. It's just, so anyway, this Uncle Sam came out and he was like this, and he looked eerie. So it cut off because those two guys was like that. That's after the black guy went in the water and he went straight down. That's when he had a vision going back to his. He opened up. He looked up and he was in the bathroom, and his auntie was there or his grandma or something, and then his uncle was there, and he had this black box, and he goes, I'll open it and stuff like that. And then she told him, don't let him know. And then she shot him. He shot her in the knee or something like that. I was sitting there going, dang. So anyway, so then the one guy that has the wife that's in the military and the little boy that's with the little group, he's with his buddy, the white dude that's always been with him for a while. They go down there, so they're hearing things, and so he kept saying, don't believe anything you see. He said, everything you see is not real. But their kids was down there at the same time. So when the kids was down there, they took these pills, and this was so funny. they said, my mom takes these pills all the time. She goes, it'll suppress our fears. So they took like a couple of them each, man. And when they got down that tunnel, I don't know how they rehearsed this, man, but it was so funny. They was high as a kite, man. I started laughing, man. I was like, "Now that was good." I don't know how they got those kids to play that so good. They had to rehearse that. It was so funny. So they was like tripping, man, off them little white pills, man. And they was like, "Oh, man, I think I took too many of these, man." Those little kids did a good job. "You can hold my hand. Can I hold your hand?" "Well, your hand is so soft." And they turn around and it's like, "Are you holding their hand?" They go like, "No, I'm not." Oh, it was so funny. But then when Pennywise came and, well, the Indian guy was taking him through the tunnel. And he had that crystal that could protect him. So he wanted to get away from him. So he decided to run. So they was going to shoot at him. But then he dropped this crystal. So you had that part. I forgot to throw that in there. So then the kids finally ran into, they found all the dead kids. They started floating up to the body. They started floating up to the surface. They started freaking them out. They didn't see Pennywise yet. So they was looking and seeing all those kids that died, and they was trying to see if one of them was alive, a couple of them was alive, so they could bring them back and show it to the sheriff to clear that one guy that's involved with that white woman. I'm trying to figure out what they're doing with that story, but anyway. So they're all freaking out. All these bodies are floating up. And then the kid that was pale, he got up on these steps and started going around. His head split open and had these teeth. And I said to myself, I knew something wasn't right about that kid. I knew there wasn't something right about that kid. He lured him down into its nest. And he was going to feed on those kids, but they all started running. And while they were running, the girl that was accused of stabbing that one girl in the eye, I forgot to tell you that, she ends up being with them because she wanted to play a trick on that girl in school. There's a kid in school that's a popular kid, and her little uppity group wanted that kid to think that he liked her and stuff, so I forgot to throw that in. But anyway, she's in the group now, but she's got a patch over her eye. And then they all started running, freaking out. So when they're running, the dad that's in the military was with the white dude that's got the slick hair because he's always worried about his hair. They were the last two in the tunnel looking around. And so the kids started running, and then his dad turned around with the gun. He knew that wasn't his son, but actually it really was his son. So he was getting ready to shoot his son because his son and all the kids was running away from the it thing. But the other girl had got lost. So he's getting ready to shoot. And then after he told his buddy with the nice hair, everything is not real, man. Don't take nothing serious. He goes, it's not real. His buddy kept looking. He goes, man, those are real. So he's getting ready to shoot his own son. He stepped in front of the gun and took the shot. I had issues with that part because I don't know why he didn't take that gun and go like that. I was sitting there going, how come you couldn't grab that gun and have him shoot up like that so he can have enough time to realize that was his son? How did you step in front of that long? But he got shot and then he ended up dying. It was kind of like a sad moment. I was sitting there going, really? Was that necessary? I was like, I don't know about this, man. I'm saying to myself. So he seen it was really those kids. He goes, what are you doing out here? He goes, get out of here, and all this stuff. So he gets out there, and then that's how it all wraps up. And then it shows him going back, talking to the main guy that's in charge of the military, and he was, telling him that, man, he said he was upset that he shot his buddy with the nice hair. I always call the guy with the nice hair. But then the guy that dropped down the water, he ended up coming out, but he seen the guy that just got killed with the nice hair, and he was dead, and he was standing there with these weird-looking eyes, so that's how it stopped. This is the best way I could tell it, you guys, but I'm on the fence with episode 5, so I'm going to watch episode 5 again. I'm not saying it was bad. Either I was tired or I didn't particularly care for it. But I don't know if I particularly care for it because I don't know why I would not care for it. But it was called 29 Neibolt Street. And that's where the house is. So that's where its lair is because you got to go down the well. But that's pretty slick though. There's a lot of stuff in here that is very good. I tried to get my daughter to watch this and she said she didn't like it. I was shocked she didn't like it. I was like, but her and her boyfriend, they I think they just, I don't know, like 7 years ago when she was younger, she She seemed like she just got older though. But I was surprised. I said, "Really, you don't like that?" She goes, "No, Dad. I tried to watch it. I watched all 3 episodes. I didn't like it." I said, "Okay, well, I love it." I said, "At least you give it a try." But yeah, maybe it's just not for some people. But yeah, man, it's 29 Neibolt Street. That's where the house is. So anyway, you guys, God bless each and every one of y'all out there. Seriously, and be safe out there, and be thankful. Seriously, just be thankful, man. Give your dog a hug. Hell, even your cat. You know, if you got a bird, go talk to your bird or something, man. Just be a little bit more, you know. So we'll catch you next video. We'll see you.